Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Boozman Outdoors. Today I'm excited to say we're building a cannon, and we're building this for the purpose of going fishing out in the bay. I noticed that we got a nice sandbar right here and it's impossible to cast out over it. So I'm hoping with this we can get out there a few hundred yards and hook on to something big. But today what I got is 2-inch PVC pipe. I only need 4 foot of this, but I got a nice 10-foot extension. I have 4-inch pipe, PVC, also P40 grade. This one's only a 2-foot section they sold, and that's all I need. I have a clean out cap, which is for 4-inch, which is gonna go on the end of this. I have a 2 to 4-inch reducer, step down, whatever you'd like to call it. That'll pretty much transfer the 4-inch to the 2-inch pipe at our barrel. I have some tape to clean it all up at the end. Some silicone, which I know doesn't stick super well, but it'll be under pressure to the bolts. I think it'll work well. I have an igniter source, which this is basically off a grill or anything else like that. I chose to go with a battery operated one for continuous spark. I noticed before a lot of these times if you don't have the right air to starter fluid mixture, it is really hard to ignite. But I also have purple primer, and I also have cement to seal all this up at the end. It shouldn't be too hard to do. This cost me all about 150 bucks, I'd say. The hardest piece to get was definitely this guy. It was not in stock at like 8 of my local hardware stores, and I actually had to get this shipped in from further upstate. But without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so the first thing I want to start with is going to be this chamber. So I'm going to get this 2-inch pipe out of the way. All right, so starting with this 4-inch pipe here, this is basically your chamber. This is where my igniter is going to sit, my gas, my oxygen, things like that, and this is what's going to actually compress into that 2-inch. I'm going to put on the reducer here first. Basically I want to make sure I got a nice clean surface for that primer to sit for both ends. And we're going to start with this purple primer, and basically this just gets the pipe nice and clean for that cement to go on. It's a good base for it. Some nice thick stuff. I always found that it's always nice to go a little extra with it. You're better off having too much and let it blow out the seams than not having enough and losing your seal. All right, there we go. Slide that on. And what I'm going to do is actually going to bring it over here to the ground. I'm just going to make sure it's seated completely down flush in there. There we go. Before we put out this clean out on there, I'm actually going to put my ignition on here just so I have a little extra room to work. So my ignition, like I said here, I got this off Amazon. It was like 12 bucks or so. There's a AA battery that sits right down in here. When I push this button, it completes the circuit here. It's a nice little jolt. Same thing you'd use on a grill igniter, and you actually buy like a single punch grill igniter that does not require a battery and use that. For this guy, I'm probably gonna set him in right about there. Oh, yeah, let's say right about there. And to drill some holes. First try. All right, so I got that igniter in there. What I want to do is secure it down. I'm going to be using these guys here, just a couple little bolts that we'll throw through the top. I'm going to throw down some silicone as well. All right, so we lathered on some silicone real quick so we can put these rods down in. I know silicone doesn't work the best on plastics, but I think it'll work well because it'll be under pressure from these bolts right here. I'm gonna drill these out real quick and be ready to bolt down. Washers will go on the bottom side, just like that. So you guys can see down in there, that's what we got going on. Our rods and our bolts are right there. I'm going to put on a nut and a washer just on the back side real quick. Done with the drill for now. What I need to do is I need to secure this button down here for me to actually use. I think I'm going to do something just about like that, so that it's nice and easy for me just to point and shoot. That's what this tape here is for. I'll do something like that. Alright, so that's good enough for now. I can go back over and clean this up later, but essentially my wires are now protected from sliding around, things like that. They're not going to get caught in anything, and it's pretty much nothing's going to move on me. So there we go. Next thing what we will do, we're going to install the back piece for this right here. This is basically it's a clean out chamber is what you'd use it for, but what we're using this is so we can remove this and tonight or put our fuel inside, close it back up so that we can fire it. Same thing as before, we're gonna clean this up real quick, get all the big stuff out of there. Same thing for this guy. We're gonna apply our purple primer. Keep it off the table there. And next we got our cement itself. Alright, let's slide this chamber on. Just a little couple even taps. And there we go. Our chamber is pretty much, well, I'd actually say it is done. So there we go. We can set this to the side for now. Next piece I got is my 2-inch PVC. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and measure out a nice 4-foot section, which I already put a line here, you guys can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my saw here. I'm going to whack her down. And you guys don't have to get crazy with a saw like this. This is easily something you can do by hand. PVC is fairly easy to cut. I've actually used a meat saw before, but you can use a little hacksaw, something like that, and you will have no problems. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this nice little stainless steel bolt here, and I want it to sit just about so that my bait balls don't slide through. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill 2 holes real quick. Make sure you don't do it right up to your top, right? Because this is actually going to slide in your chamber over there. So you want to set it to back, oh, I'd say probably 2 or 3 inches. This guy's gonna go in here, come out over there. Oh, did I break it? I think I broke it. All right, so since I'm dumb and I way over tightened that stainless steel there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 of these bolts and stick them down through like that, and basically it'll make a nice little 2 prongs in there, and that would cause the same effect that I'm looking for. All right, so there we have it. You guys can see down in there we got 2 nice bolts coming to an intersection, and basically that'll keep my bait from falling too far back into the chamber. They also got the dead space over there, so if I got a ramrod and something's jammed in there, I can still fit that through without getting caught up on those bolts. Last thing we got to do is attach this to the chamber. So we're gonna grab this. We're gonna do the same thing we did earlier. Beautiful. And there you have it. We essentially have our cannon ready to go. But unfortunately, this glue takes about 24 hours to fully cure. So what I want to do, since it's going to be under immense pressure very quickly, what I want to do is I'm going to let this cure. And I'm going to try this out tomorrow. And I will see you guys then. Woo! Alrighty y'all, it is the next day. I found a nice secluded spot in the woods to shoot our cannon, which I actually taped up in my free time. It looks extra cool now. But way down there, we got a nice Pepsi can sitting on a log by a puddle. It's only 15 yards away, but I hope we can hit it. And the ammo we're gonna be using today is some 2-inch sphere ice cubes. So I actually got these off of Amazon here. These nice silicone molds, you pour the water in on top, and then they come out like so. Perfect round ice cube. The reason I chose these are because I want to freeze my bait and a hook inside one of these and run the leader out top, so that when I want to launch my bait out there, grab one of these, clip it on my rod, and it's gone. So we're gonna load up the first one and see how it goes. There we go. Drop the whole way down there to that bolt. And these are a little bit smaller than I want them to be, so I might switch out and get a different size when I actually start using this for bait. Oh yeah. So I only got a couple rounds left and I really want to hit this Pepsi can, so I'm gonna get closer. Here we go. Woo! Look at that. Pepsi. Oh, that was pretty sweet. So obviously this thing is a toy, but it's really not. Don't point it at your friends. Don't be dumb, please. Because this thing has potential to do some serious damage, if not kill you. But so that one I packed super tight. Compression's there, the power's there. I think what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using like paper to actually shoot into the water, because it's biodegradable, right? I don't want to be littering and using like rags or something like that. But that's going to be pretty sweet. I'm going to launch one up just for shits and giggles. But no, this is definitely a win so far. See what she does. Holy jeez. It bounced clear back here. I hit the tree way up there. That right there is exactly how it's supposed to fire. You hear that nice crack? That means I had a nice compression in there. I packed these leaves in there super tight. So this is definitely gonna work. I am really excited to get out fishing this year. Try this out there, see how many heads I can turn, just for the fun of it. So I will be doing a second video actually using this fishing. I'll be rigging this to my fishing rod and we're launching it out in the middle of the Chesapeake Bay. So stay tuned for that. I appreciate you guys checking out my video. If you guys liked it, drop that like. If you guys got questions, suggestions, drop them down below. I promise I'll get back to you. So thanks for watching Boozman Outdoors, and I'll catch you guys next time. Say hello to my little friend.